Craigo. I have my good friend, Amy Van Arsdale of Cleared Spaces. Welcome, Amy.
Hello, Craig. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
This has been for months in the making to have you on Coffee with Craigo, so I want to really start. What is Cleared Spaces?
I am a professional home organizer. That encompasses a person that goes into the home and helps people discard and donate items that no longer are needed, used, wanted. I also go in and just help people organize their homes. A lot of my clients have ADD, ADHD, they're chronically disorganized, they work full-time, they've got children. It's pretty overwhelming nowadays. People are asked to do a lot. The traffic,
and people can get overwhelmed in that process. And so as, you know, we were talking about a few quick calls to actions before we came on, and one of them is as a realtor, I'm working on some listings that are coming in the next few months, a couple listings in Norwalk. And one of the things that an agent, thank you, one of the things that an agent will do is make a lot of promises of, we're going to help you get organized, we're going to help you declutter. And for me, one of my jobs as a realtor is to promote, market, get my clients through the process, help them to correctly position their home for the market as far as from a dollar standpoint.
Right.
And most importantly, it's great when I can call in a professional like you, and I have in the past, to help my client come in and talk about decluttering,
yes,
a little bit about staging. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Critical, critical. It's hard for the homeowner to see. They've been living there for years. It's hard to see the clutter. Another fresh pair of eyes is great. I kind of am the one that's the heavy that comes in and says, look, you've got to get rid of these personal pictures. You've got to clear out these closets. You've got to clear out these cabinets. You have to clean the place up, right? And so a lot of people might take offense to that, but they're really motivated now because our house is going to be on the market. Everybody leaves and they find themselves completely overwhelmed, right? I can't get started. So I do 4-hour sessions and I get you going, and my job is to keep you focused and to purge. You have to go through your items. You have to purge. You have to donate. I'm 85% green. And I take things that I can lift and fit into my car that day at the session. And I recycle, I take things to, donate, and, minimal garbage. But it's really important to just repurpose things so that everything's just not going into a landfill. It makes the homeowner feel better, it makes me feel better. And it's just a great feeling, but it's a necessity. And as we're purging, we're sorting. So when you pack up your home, you want everything to be in the proper room with liked items all categorized together. So when you get to the other side, everything's nice and efficient. Whoop, you're there, and it's in the right room because everything's labeled properly, and then the unpack becomes a lot more bearable. And I unpack too.
And that was the point A to point B, is that I said, if I have a mess at point A, because I used to own a moving business, for you that don't know, C&O Helpers, and one of the things, that's how we met.
2006, he moved me. Twice.
And that's how we connected first. And what was very interesting is that if you come into somebody's home and it's a mess, and it's their mess, and they're having to move it, you're taking the mess from point A to point B. And one of the things that we said even before we got on is saying, what if you could help them minimize that mess, get them prepared so that they're packed and ready to move, but that they're also market ready? Because when someone walks into a home, a potential buyer walks in, it's an emotional purchase just as much as it is a financial one.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's so important that if we get you organized and we get you prepared, and you do a great job at that, and you said something that I thought, it's these 4-hour blocks. I'm not going to be with you for 8 hours because I won't have your undivided attention, and you keep them moving. Now explain to me, the 85% green, what does that mean to you when you use the 85% green?
Well, I go in and, you can recycle everything.
Yeah.
The Westport dump is unbelievable. Most dumps are just unbelievable that you can take everything there, and then things that no longer can be donated, like baby toys and car seats. There's a lot of things that you cannot, strollers that you can't donate. You leave them at a swap, right, at these dumps, and everything gets circled out, and it's just so important to just not throw everything away. The
reuse of items, and you said I clear space in your mind, and it brings me to one thing that I'd love people to always know is we don't just do the calls to action, which we're going to do one in a second, but you clear space in people's minds so that they can think clear. For me, I'm always about being organized. I have my task sheet every day for my clients, whether it's family, it's personal stuff. So for you, what is your hobby? What do you like to do on your personal time?
Well, I am a yoga instructor. I was doing my training and I couldn't believe the parallels of my professional business as a home organizer and space maker, more or less, and then the space I make in people's minds and bodies when I teach yoga. And it might be a little too far-fetched, but for those of you that can understand that I really do make space. And when you have a clear home, you're clearer in your mind. You're clearer and just you're focused, and so they really do go together. And so we all have too much, especially in Fairfield County. People have too much stuff. Less is best. They build their homes up, they have their babies, and then they shut it back down. And that takes me over to senior move management. a lot of senior citizens are downsizing. They've got these big homes in Fairfield County that are packed.
With
Just packed.
just stuff.
Right, and so that's a whole other thing. But I am a senior moves manager. I sit down with them right from the get-go. We decide what's going to go with them to their next destination. We decide what moving company we're going to use. We decide, who can come in and do repairs, who can come in and paint, and then we pack them up, but we only take what they need. They donate everything else, and it's very difficult for these people to get rid of things, and so they need someone like myself. I'm not the daughter. I'm the person, the neutral. A lot of times the adult children
And I also want to
so.
say, for those watching Coffee with Craig O, my testimonial, Amy is absolutely fantastic. She's true to her word. You really do a great job. So